Hey guys, I'm back. See, I promised I would be making more videos and I'm I don't even know what to say. I'm not a good editor, so these videos are gonna have mistakes. They're gonna have flub ups in my words until I learn how to edit my videos. I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons why my videos don't get that many like comments or views or something because they're like not like there's some YouTubers out there that can make pretty pictures on their like pretty intros and stuff like that, and I'm just like I don't know how to do it, and it's too hard. You'd think I would because my boyfriend's like an IT major. Well, he's not anymore, but he was, and he would know these things. But my boyfriend doesn't even know about my YouTube channel, and I'm not about to tell him. We've only been dating for a month, so I'm not gonna spring it on him just yet. Like he's seen my books, my two packed bookshelves, and then my under the TV, and then my other shelves over here, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't handle it." So I'm not gonna subject him to my YouTube videos just yet. Anyways, so I just want you guys to know that I am gonna take the suggestions that I got on my last video. I only got like two, or three, but I'm hoping that maybe the more I start to do videos, then the more I'll start getting views, because I feel like I only put them up like once a month, and then so people don't always catch them. But if I start putting them up more, people will be like, oh, this, like, I'll watch this, whatever. So just to know that I'm going to put those up. I'm gonna film them, put them up eventually. I don't have a lot of time, and I was actually just looking at this, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do a video on this because it's like a book channel, so it makes sense. So yeah, not a while ago actually, I bought the Book Lovers Journal at my work, Barnes and Noble. It's something that I didn't even know existed for a while until a customer came in and said, I'm looking for the Book Lovers Journal and whatnot. And at that time, I looked up and we didn't have it. Or we did, it said we had it, but I couldn't find it. So the customer went out empty handed. But like maybe a month or two later, I was sorting through books and I found it at work. And I was like, oh, I need to have this. So I brought it over to the register and I was like, can you put this on hold for me? And they're like, yeah, sure. And so I bought it. This is the coolest little thing ever. Like, I cannot wait. I almost can't wait to fill it up just so I can get another one. And I'm hoping by the time that I finish this that they'll still be making them. I think there's a lot of other kinds. I don't think this is the only kind, but I kind of, if there are different ones, I want to get a bigger one next time because this one's kind of teeny and it's hard to write in sometimes, but it's still cool. So I just figured if I was doing like a camera overview, I could like hold it down, like I put it on the and just show, but like I don't have a fancy camera. All I have is my phone and it's almost dead, so I just decided I'm just gonna hold it up and show you, which is just as good as what other people do with their fancy cameras. So anyways, this is what the inside looks like. My address is there, but I don't really care. I guess I'll just cover it, but it says this book belongs to, and then it gives name and contact information, and then it just shows you the front page. And then you get a table of contents. And I'm going to go through it so it doesn't really matter about table of contents. You get an introduction to what it's for. And then it starts off with my book log, and it gives you a little description of what that is. And I think this is so cool. It's my book log table of contents, and you write it in yourself. So far, these are all the books that I have in my book journal. Not that much, but again, I haven't been reading that much. So yeah, and I like that I can write them. I've learned, you can tell that I've learned to write them smaller so that I can fit in the author, but I've also stopped writing in the author, like down here, and just wrote the page that the book is on, because I don't really need the author. I just need the number of the book and the page, and you'll find everything needed to know about the book in the actual log. So I have 2 pages for table of contents, which I feel like I'm going to fill up long before I fill up the actual log, which is kind of crappy, but I'll make do. If I have to, I'll staple another page for more table of contents. So anyways, so I'll start off with showing you a book that I've already finished. So you get a 2-page spread, and the first little bit is, I'll do it on the side. The first little bit is like the book title and info about the book, so author, publisher, name, number of pages, fiction, and is it either fiction or nonfiction. And then the first question is how I discovered this book and when and where I read it. So that kind of question, when and where I read it, kind of confuses me. It's like, do they want to know like in the car, at school, at home, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even know. I guess maybe if you read in cool places, like in a tree or something, but mine aren't really that cool. Most of the time it just says work or home or school. And then the next question is noteworthy experiences while reading this book. This I was also confused about. What it like experiences like outside of the book, like if someone ran someone over in front of me while I was reading, is that a noteworthy experience or something that happened in the book? I figured it was something that happened in the book, so I like for this one I wrote. I don't know if you read the book Sinner by Maggie Stiefvater, but I wrote I love Cole's personality, very attractive, and then I wrote hate Isabel's personality, always have, but I kind of understood like those are experiences. I don't really know. I have better ones throughout the novel. But then it gives you a rate system. You rate the quality of writing. Sorry. You rate the quality of writing, pace, plot development, characters, enjoyability, insightfulness, ease of reading, and photo/illustrations if there is any. And then you just give the what number you rate them. And then the last question is recommend this book to. And if you do, you check it and just write who you would recommend it to. I don't really know if you guys can see that. Probably not. But that's what they are. And then on the second page, it's notes and opinions. So it says basic plot or contents, setting, main character's point of view, how this book made me feel or what it made me think, great lines, quotes, etc. So basically, while I'm reading, I just write down any notes that I have and I fill up the page. Sometimes I'm nervous that I'm going to fill up the page before I finish the book, but I haven't had that problem. I've either not had anything else to say or I was fine. All of the books I've had enough room for. Sometimes too much room sometimes. So yeah, and then at the end you get a star, and I wasn't sure how to fill those in neatly because I didn't want to scribble, so you'll see later on that I just reverted to like check marks, if you can see that. Check marks. But yeah, so yeah, I filled up quite a few, and then like I started like right here in this one, there's a couple in this book, so I put a heart next to one of the notes. I reverted to putting all hearts up here, like it gets this many hearts because I don't even know how to explain that to you. It's kind of stupid. So then it gives you a lot, like it's quite a few of these pages are for books, obviously, because it's mainly for books. I'll show you. All of these pages pretty much are all book journal, book log type things. And then next comes up like little cool things. For instance, this is books I'd like to read, and where do you find these books? So, hold on. So say if you're looking at a book and it says recommended reads along with this book and you think it sounds good, flip to the back and write it in here. And if you're ever looking for a book to pick up or read, just click right here and that will be there. Well, not click right here, really. Turn to this page and pick a book that you like. And it gives you a page of that, and then you can go, this is actually the table of contents, and then you can go into a little bit more detail about those books in this little log for books that you want to read. And you get a couple pages, a few pages for that actually. And then you get into a point that says My Books. That's what it looks like. You start off by where you get your books. I have Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Paperback Swap at the moment because those are where I get my books. Mostly, like, those are the books I buy or order from. I'm sure there'll be more in the future, but as of right now. But you can write the name, the phone number, the website, username, password, account number. I wasn't even showing you but that's what that looks like. And then there's a cool spot for books I borrowed. So if you borrow any books, which actually I realized I've been borrowing books from work and I haven't been using this. I've used it twice, but I haven't. That's actually a good idea that I just thought of because I borrow books from work all the time and then I forget that I have them and then they're late. So if I put it in here, the date that I got it and the date that it goes back, I'll never have to worry. That's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I'm smart. But anyways, I borrowed more books, but I've used this for these ones. Like this can go library books, anything from friends, stuff like that. You don't get that much space. Oh, actually, you get that 2-page spread, and then you get another page, and that's it. And then you get a page or 2 pages for books you've lent. As you can see, my books I've lent is a little bit longer because I actually keep up to date on that because these are my books, and I'm like, I want them back. So that's why that's more kept. You can see that most of them have been returned. Well, actually, that's a lie. Not most of them are returned. It's kind of sucky though. The couple of them are from friends that I'm not even friends with anymore. And it's like, now I'm never gonna get them back, which is one of The Fault in Our Stars. That's not even cool. Now I'm gonna have to buy another copy of The Fault in Our Stars. Not even cool. So yeah, you get 2 pages for books I've lent. books I've given, and I haven't given away any of my books, so that's blank, but maybe one day. I don't even know why I would put books I've given. Why do I want to know who I gave them to? I don't really care. And then say if you're a part of a book group and you want a place to put that information, you have a little spot for that as well. Like you get the reading list and then any notes for that, which isn't a very big space, but you know. And then anybody that's in your reading group, if you want to have their contact information, you have, I think, 4 pages for that. Yeah, 4 pages. And then at the very back, there's a spot for like popular books that are known, for like Shakespeare, stuff like that. So there's a list of recent Nobel literatures and recent Pulitzer Prize winners, stuff like that. And then there's a little check mark, so you can check off when you read them, and it's really cute. And then the next page is Among the World's Greatest Books, and it brings you through greatest books in different genres, like fiction, and I've checked off a few. I've checked off, obviously, these are mostly classics. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, The Great Gatsby, The Hobbit, Of Mice and Men, stuff like that. And then it brings you to nonfiction. And then you get drama and poetry. Drama and poetry. It's cool. And then at the end, it asks you, this is a little cool, it's like a reflection. You get favorite books of all time, favorite authors of all time, and then memorable book and author events. So like if you met an author, had a book signing, blah, 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 you can write that down. That's cool. I've had 2. So I met Veronica Roth and Dan Wells and Kimberly Durning and Jill Hathaway. Next is books that have changed my life. I imagine all of you have a lot of those. I haven't started yet. I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, but that's a cool feature. Literary places I'd like to visit. That's a cool feature. I feel like a lot of people would fill that up really quick. Childhood favorites here, and then books I liked as a teen. And then you get books I liked in college, and favorite poets and poems. And then there's a couple more, actually. Books I was supposed to read and didn't, but still might. And favorite book-related publications, shows, blogs, and websites. And then, what's this last thing? One of the last pages is books on screen, so you have a spot for movies, my favorite movies adapted from books, films based on books that I'd remake, why I'd remake them, and how I'd make it different, books that aren't movies that would be great, and casting notes, which I feel like is the same as how I'd make it different, but oh well. And then last but not least, if I can turn the page, books I'd like with me if I were stranded on a desert island. That's cool. I haven't really written much, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is an overview. Actually, it's more of an in-depth look at the Book Lovers Journal, and I encourage any and all book lovers to get this, because it's easy to keep what you're reading intact, it's easy to keep your notes, to write your reviews, and it's small enough to just slip in your bag, and you can pull it out and write something if you're reading real quick, or if you're writing a review and you don't have the book, you have this, you can take your notes and write the review out of it. So yeah, that's good. Sorry if this video is long, oh well. It happens. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.